Well, I tell you what, there are optics and then there are optics, and spearing a whale with a cruise ship, but not a good look. Not a good look. Plus, how would you feel if your burger request got denied? We've got some cruisers dealing with that right now, plus a whole lot more. Cruise news and my views. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to La Lido Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news and views for your face. For your face on a Thursday the 9th of May, 2024. And let's kick the show off with a fantastical story, a story about an amazing rescue at sea. A troubling scenario played out on the Carnival Venezia where a child required medical attention that he could not get on the cruise ship. And the troubles were compounded by the fact that this cruise ship was 400 miles off the coast of the United States in what they call secluded open water. It seems like all open water is a little bit secluded. Regardless, I'll try not to squirrel off there. Secluded open water. And traditionally you hear about Coast Guard rescues. Well, this is different. This is an Air Force rescue. The call went out and the Air Force answered, deploying 2 helicopters and 2 airplanes to pull off this rescue mission. They made their way out to the Carnival Venezia. They had to refuel in air, the airplanes refueling the helicopters. And then in a dramatic fashion, they airlifted the mother and the child off of the cruise ship into the helicopters. In the helicopter, the child was stabilized and then taken to a hospital for further treatment. All in all, the rescue took 8 hours and encompassed 1,200 miles. Now, it's not uncommon to hear about rescue at sea, and the common story that we talk about most of the time is a Coast Guard rescue at sea. So the uncommon part of the story is the engagement of the Air Force and the distance of the rescue. These folks are amazing. I just want to say that. Coast Guard, Air Force, whoever responds in these circumstances, it's just amazing. It does remind us that cruising is one of those things where the fragility of life still exists. People get sick, people need help, and sometimes you're out in a secluded, remote area in open water, and excitingly, help still can come. So big kudos to the teams that performed this rescue, and best hopes and wishes to the family as they deal with whatever sickness. The sickness of the child not disclosed, but hopefully it all works out well. Cruise news story number 2, the situation with the cruise terminal in Baltimore continues to be fluid, and some are questioning whether it's too fluid. Guests booked on the May 12th sailing of the Carnival Pride, originally scheduled to depart from the Port of Baltimore, have been notified that the Port of Baltimore will not be ready for cruising activities, and therefore they will leave out of Norfolk, Virginia. That means the guests that are booked on this Sunday's cruise must now figure out what type of transportation they will be taking to Norfolk. Will they get to Norfolk on their own? Will they take one of the buses offered by Carnival Cruise Line? This is a scenario that Carnival is facing with every cruise on the Carnival Pride since the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore. Passengers on each subsequent sailing of the Pride since the bridge collapse, they've kind of been in limbo, waiting to find out whether or not they would be leaving from Baltimore or leaving from Norfolk. And it seems in most of these situations, there's only been 2 or 3 days of notice for the passengers to figure out where they have to go for embarkation day. I was on the Carnival Pride on the sailing that transitioned that cruise ship from Tampa to what would have been Baltimore. We instead went to Norfolk, Virginia, and it's been tumultuous. I know from talking to people on the Carnival Pride that it is a week-by-week basis where they're waiting to understand from the harbor officials there in Baltimore whether or not they're going to have a channel available to get that cruise ship into the cruise terminal. And it's just a process. Unfortunately, it's just a process. I know as a cruiser, it'd be great to have more notice, but Carnival wants to sail out of Baltimore as soon as possible. And so again, on each cruise, it's like, are we going to be able to do it? Well, at least for the 12th, the answer is no. Are you sailing on the Carnival Pride? Have you had to deal with some of this turmoil? What do you think? How much notice do you think would be sufficient? Leave a comment below. Now, let's talk about a hamburger dispute that is going down in Flavortown, going down at Guy's Burger on Carnival cruise ships. We have a disgruntled passenger that is upset because their burger request was denied. In a message that was sent to Carnival brand ambassador John Heald, the nameless upset cruiser says this: most of the people who work at Guy's Burgers have no clue how to make a burger medium rare. I was told it was not allowed to have my burger served on the rare side. I couldn't get them to cook one less than medium well for the life of me. Each time I gave it back. Don't tell me the reason that they will not do burgers anyway but burnt is that it is a health issue. It is not the same way in all American land-based restaurants. I wish you would poll this. Food would be more enjoyed and food would be less wasted if we could all get a medium rare burger. John Heald responded, thank you, sir. And yes, indeed, it is a health issue. We actually have a USPH, United States Public Health Warning, written on the menu and in the fun times about this. It is an interesting situation. There are warnings posted at like the sushi place and on the restaurants in the main dining room that consuming undercooked meat could be dangerous to your health. But it also is one of those things in society where a lot of people like their burger not cooked well done. But can we have a reality check for a moment here? Have you ever been to a Guy's Burger on a Carnival cruise ship? They prepare those burgers like 50 at a time, assembly line style, and usually as soon as the burgers are prepared, they're snatched up by throngs of bathing suit donned Carnival cruisers. Look, this ain't fine dining here, folks. This isn't Chateau Lacau. This isn't Bob's Brie Burgery. Heck, this ain't even Burger King. You're not gonna get it your way. Could you imagine being the next person in line behind the person who returns a Guy's Burger because they don't like the way it's cooked? It's like, oh, wow. Was your butler too busy to return your burger? Thanks for making me wait an extra 10 minutes. I guess what I'm saying is maybe lower your expectations. You're not going to go to the fast casual burger joint slinging hundreds of burgers a day and get your perfectly medium rare hamburger. Let's be his feedback loop. Should you be able to have it your way at Guy's Burger? Should there be a little pink in your burger meat? Shall we move from dead cows to dead whales? The most troubling cruise news story of the day is next. But before we get there, let me quickly invite you to subscribe. If you like staying up to date with everything going on in cruising, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes. Thank you in advance. Well, let me start this story out by saying two things. Number one, call me Ishmael for this one. And number two, I remember very vividly as a child watching a documentary about a hunter who had hunted an orca, a killer whale, and the hunter was successful, but with his success came the vengeance of that slain orca's mate. And then that orca hunted down the hunter. The hunter became the hunted. How does that tie into today's story? Well, when the MSC Meraviglia made its way back to the port in Brooklyn, there in New York City, it was found to have a 40-foot whale attached to the front of the ship. And the whale was dead. And so can you imagine that scene? You're like by the Statue of Liberty and you got a big whale on the front of your cruise ship. Well, certainly this is concerning. And of course, the big point of concern is how did the whale die? And how did the whale end up speared to the front of the cruise ship? Did the cruise ship strike it, kill it, and then bring it to New York for sightseeing? Or did something else happen? And there's a whole investigation. They peeled the whale off of the front of the ship. That sounds insensitive. I'm not trying to be insensitive. They peeled the whale off the front of the ship. They took it to Sandy Hook, New Jersey, where marine biologists like this guy right here, the seas were rough that day. Real marine biologists doing a necropsy. It's like autopsy, but for animals. They're saying that the whale looked pretty healthy. So they're surmising that the cruise ship may have struck the whale and killed the whale. MSC Meraviglia needs to be on the lookout. Now, this wasn't a killer whale. This was a sea whale, SEI whale, beautiful whale. Yeah, it's a big old ocean, but somehow the cruise ship was able to hit a whale. It's an endangered species too, so it's not good. It's not good, but you know, I'm assuming it's accidental. I can't imagine some cruise captain out there just like video gaming the thing, like there it is. I don't think that happened. But I'm telling you, if you're on the Meraviglia for the next few sailings, I would be looking starboard and port side to make sure the vengeance wasn't coming your way in the water. It's gotta be bad luck to hit a whale. Look, I do fly out to California tomorrow, so again, we're in one of those weird cadences. I hope to get as many shows up as possible, but who knows with the travel. I'll see you soon, I'm pretty sure. Thank you so much for checking out the show today. Do me a solid, hit that like button. This is Tony for La Lido Loca. Until next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye. Cruise news, cruise news, cruise news, it's over.